Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Friday, March 7th. We made it to Friday, and free agency is just around the corner. This time on Monday, we will be, an hour or two from the start of free agency. Comes out at noon on Monday. And for whatever reason, I'm not getting the sense that people are understanding the situation the Pittsburgh Steelers are in when it comes to the amount of money they're about to spend in free agency. Or maybe they're just not believing it. I don't know why. But let me lay the case out for you. I broke down this morning at SteelersNow.com the Steelers salary cap situation entering the 2025 offseason. And boy, do they have the cash. $63.7 million in offseason salary cap space. Functionally, right now, they can spend upwards of $46 million, and they can make so much more. A TJ Watt extension, releasing guys like Larry Ogunjobi, Cordell Patterson, Dean Lowry. They can restructure the contracts of players like Alex Highsmith, Pat Freiermuth, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Cam Hayward. They're not going to do all of those things, but they could potentially clear another $60 million in cap space. That's ridiculous. They already have the sixth most cap space in the NFL, and they have a ton of free agency. They've also had last year they were very low in cash spending. Every team has to spend 90% of the salary cap on a rolling 3 or 4 year basis, depending on which year of the CBA you're in. So they basically have to spend all of this money, and they have a ton of it. And it's not that good of a free agent class. It's not very deep. So, maybe some years you could say, oh, the Steelers have all this cap space. Maybe they're going to sign 2 defensive linemen, 2 cornerbacks, 2 wide receivers, a running back, 2 quarterbacks, and they're going to spread it all around. But that's not the case. They just don't have that many needs. That, in fact, that list that I just said is the entirety of the needs, including what they're going to do in the draft class. Maybe you could add, a guard and a free safety. But, that's it. And they have 5 picks in the first 5 rounds. So they're going to be able to spend a lot of money on big contracts in free agency. Omar said, I expect us to be as active in free agency as they were last year. Last year, they had less than $30 million, and they signed the highest contract in team history to Patrick Queen. This year, they have double that, more, and could have a lot more than double that by the time they're done. They were ready to give Brandon Ayuk a $30 million a year contract last year. They're going to give that to somebody this year. At wide receiver, probably. They're also going to spend money at quarterback. They're also going to spend money at cornerback. And they might spend big money at defensive tackle, something I'm probably going to use Monday's show to break down. To have a request from Steven about the defensive tackle free agent class. I haven't got there yet, but that is a project for Monday morning. And they're going to spend a lot of money in free agency. You're going to see big moves come out of the Pittsburgh Steelers in free agency. There is no doubt in my mind. I don't know why some people are not understanding that. The Steelers have not traditionally spent a lot of money in free agency. The Steelers have traditionally drafted better than they have the last 5 years. They don't have any of their own players they want to sign to contract extensions this offseason. They're going to extend Jaylen Warren and maybe Deshaun Elliott, and that might be it. And then TJ. But TJ's contract extension is because he's already on a second contract. When you extend guys on their first contract, if they were going to extend George Pickens this offseason, that would cost them money against this year's cap, but because he's on a rookie deal right now. But when you're talking about extending TJ's contract, that could save them almost $20 million in cap space if they signed him to a 4-year deal with a $40 million signing bonus. That's a lot of money. So they just, even Deshaun Elliott, he doesn't make that much, but a contract extension could reduce his cap space as well. I didn't even calculate that one. They're never in this position. So don't go by what they've done before. Go by how much of what they had to spend have they spent before? And the answer is always darn near all of it. And so this year, they're probably going to spend darn near all of it, which means you're looking at $60 million in new free agency contracts come the early part of next week. And as I've explained, the first year of a free agent contract, the cap hit is low. The Steelers could sign everybody they could possibly want and be under the cap this year. Now, they might give themselves some future problems by doing that, but they could sign Who's the highest? They could sign Sam Darnold. Who's the highest paid wide receiver? Chris Godwin. They could sign Travarius Ward. They could sign Milton Williams. They could sign another corner. Asante Samuel. We're gonna play him in the slot. They could sign whatever, and trade for Cooper Kupp. Like, they could do all that and still have money left over. Like, it's not even unrealistic. So yeah, they got the money. They're gonna spend it. And I think if you're thinking that this is going to be another boring free agency period for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think you're about to be very, very wrong. That's all I got for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Keep subscribe, hit that bell for notifications on YouTube. Keep bringing those reviews everywhere else, on Spotify, anywhere Apple, Google Play, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Keep giving us those 5-star reviews. We really appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy.